And welcome to Jam TV, show number 108. I saw you dancing to that.
Boom, 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 boom.
I used to have a different show open. I used to use this one. But then I switched.
Oh, you know.
Like for the first year, we used that one. And then I was like, I got to get the one that's more rocking out, you know?
You can do whatever you want there.
I'm surprised we haven't done our own show open music, you know?
Yeah, the theme from Jam TV, you know. Like,
why has nobody stepped forward?
It's Jam TV. A bunch of crazy cats there jamming with me. Hey, yeah.
That's it. Yeah. All right.
It should be like Sammy. It should be like a little bit of Sammy in it.
I'll have the production staff work on that one for sure. So we have a relatively lonely. If anybody's out there and you want to come on Jam TV, come on, because Ray Simonelli is freezing his balls off right now outside. They moved the Wendy May Jam to the beer garden, and it's like 45 degrees and
outdoors?
blowing. Outdoors, yes.
Well, I mean, and in particular, I was down at the beach, in Rowayton, just doing some stuff, and the wind is insane by the water. I mean, it's insane. It's really,
and that's where this is. This is down in South Norwalk by the water, the beer garden. So I don't know. They might not survive, So Ray was like, I've got to go do that. I got to go set up early for that. And then Will Baird is otherwise indisposed as well. I think Randy Stone is going to stop by. And then we got a couple of people coming a little later. But we're on our own for the first little while. So.
Well, okay.
I know you like that. I know you like. You can
no.
It's
not that. It's just like, it's fine.
When do you start your beach activities? When does the beach open?
I'm on the payroll right now. Like I'm doing stuff right now. But the thing is that obviously the season doesn't start till the Friday before Memorial Day. But the other job I took on here, which was like the booking of the properties of Rowayton, that's become like a pretty interesting job and pretty granular, and there's a lot of moving parts, and the only way I can do it is to do it the minute somebody emails me, I get back to them, because if I don't, if I just let it slide, it's going to slide and things will slide, and then I'm trying to raise the bar a little, but
right.
There's a lot.
What kind of properties are these? What are we talking about?
Well, the beach is one of them. People go down there. They have, birthday parties, wedding, rehearsal dinners, that kind of stuff. Volleyball tournaments, fundraisers, all that kind of stuff. The community center, all of the above, same, and Pinckney Park, again, all the same. It's like different things. And, it's interesting. The beauty of it is that that was giving me a paycheck all winter, and
great.
And now I'm sort of doing that, and I'm doing the beach thing at the same time, two different revenue streams, and then I'm doing
very cool.
Right now, I'm doing the beach cards for people. I'm literally hand writing their names on beach.
Wow.
Is there a machine that can do this? Why bother? Why get
exactly? How's your handwriting?
My handwriting is okay for a beach card. Like it kind of looks like it's got a point of view. Like it's kind of like, yeah, they meant to make it like that. But
do you have to draw a picture for sure of them so that?
No. But what's funny about this is that when I left, Rowayton and moved up here to Silvermine, I was no longer eligible to get a beach pass, for a number of years, but because I come from the dark side of graphic design, I was able to manufacture something that could literally get by the county clerk, and they
no.
So the fox is in the chicken coop, but now I'm totally legit, and now I'm totally straight up and honest.
That's very cool.
It's funny.
Yeah, everybody thinks it's spring. Everybody thinks like the jam today, Wendy's jam is over at the beer garden, and everybody thinks, oh, it's March, so it's spring. With the March is over and the spring is here. It's like not in the Northeast, not so much.
It's actually April, Ed. You missed that 1 month.
No, but I mean that's what they do at the end of March. They're like,
yeah.
They're like middle of March. They're like, oh, the winter is. Oh yeah, okay, the winter's over, but not really. That you can still have a big snowstorm, and you can still have a lot of cold weather.
I mean, it's been cold. I did like yard work like 2 days ago, and it was kind of warmish that day, and then the last couple of days it's been cool, like cool, like, and the wind today, and up here in Silvermine, it's like I'm at tree level. I'm on the 3rd floor, so I'm looking at these big pine trees, and they're the kind of trees that just break and fall on power lines generally, But I'm looking at them, and they're going nutty. I keep expecting to lose power or something like that. But they're, it's blowing out there.
It could happen. Like Jam TV, gone. Good stuff. Play us a song. What do you got?
Okay, I'll play. I'll go with something. I was going to do one thing, and I'll do something else. I'll do a John Prine song.
Oh, cool.
Whoa! Look out! What do we want to do? I need my cheater. There it is. With an apartment in the city, me and Loretta like living there. It's been years since the kids have grown a life of their own, left us alone. John and Linda live in Omaha. John is somewhere on the road. We lost Davy in the Korean War. I still don't know what for. Don't matter anymore. That old trees just grow stronger, and old rivers grow wilder every day. Old people just grow lonesome, waiting for someone to say hello in there. Hello. Me and Loretta, we don't talk much more. She sits and stares through the back door screen. Now all the news just repeats itself like some forgotten dream that we both just seen. Someday I'll go and call up Rudy. We worked together at the factory. What could I say if he asked what's new? Nothing, what's with you? Nothing much to do. Trees just got stronger, and old rivers grow wilder every day. Old people just grow lonesome, waiting for someone to say hello in there. Hello. So if you're walking down the street sometime and spot some hollow ancient eyes, please don't just pass them by and stare as if you didn't care. Say hello in there. Hello.
Very nice. Very, very nice.
You want to alienate the older people in the crowd who are listening, but actually there's no one older than me listening, so I don't know.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
I would.
Absolutely. What are you drinking there?
I'm drinking tequila. I just killed this bottle. It's a bottle that I went to some liquor store and it was great. It was fun. It was a liquor store in Rowayton, which is actually a really good liquor store. It wasn't always, but it expanded while I was away, and there it is. And I met this great sales kid who like, he's probably 40, but I met this guy and he like, I had gotten a gift certificate from the 6th taxing district of Rowayton for Christmas, so I had a C note that was burning a hole in my pocket, and I knew I was going to get some tequila, and then I was going to maybe get something else. And this kid was very knowledgeable. It was like old school retail. The kid was knowledgeable. We had a great conversation. He took me out, showed me, a bunch of things, and then we just got into a whole nother level of just enjoying the graphics of the labels, which I'm so screwed up. I'll buy booze because I like the label it's in.
Absolutely, and they know it.
Yeah, and I won't buy stuff if I don't like the label. I don't care what it is, and. So he turned me on this stuff, and it's a beautiful, what do they call those bottles that have the stoppers that go, that work on a little lever thing? It's got a name, it's got a name, but it's like, it's old school, like heavy glass. It's got, sort of embossed stuff, and it says tequila.
Right.
And I was just looking at it and going like, this is too nice to throw into recycling. I don't know what I would ever reuse it for.
Make a lamp out of it or something.
Or maybe it's golden, but it's a very nice package. And speaking of nice packages, how are you, Ed?
I'm doing great. I'm doing really great. I'm working on a record, as I told you. It's like top secret with some really heavy cats, and I'm really loving it working with professionals in the studio. Like, I used to work I used to play on records and stuff, and I worked in studios. And it's all different now. Everybody works on their laptop. Nobody goes in the studio anymore. But it was really nice to be in a studio with people that know what they're doing, and they have an ear, and they're being tasteful about it. And I don't even know what I'm doing there. I'm just playing like bleepy synthesizer sounds, and they're like, "You're the coolest guy." They're calling me kid, right?
It's like I said, it's like you question your bona fides for being this thing. The fact is, you're there for a reason. You got there completely on your own merit of doing whatever it was you were doing.
Because what adult human being plays with idiotic synthesizers?
Me. They can't find that in other places. There's like
right.
No one's doing that, and it's really funny. I'm so stupid because I know how much everybody's working at home. I know all this, but I didn't really completely understand that no one's ever going to go back to the way it was. Like it's not. There are still studios out there, and maybe somehow they will work as rental spaces, for people that feel like they need to do that. But I was talking to a guy who lives in Rowayton who worked for a jingle company, a music company. I don't know what you call it, but they called Bigfoot, and they were in the city, and I used them a couple of times, and it was great. And I was talking to him, and I was like, "Are you kind of done with everything?" And he said, "No, we're still working." And I go, "You still have the place on 14th Street?" And he goes, "No, I do it out of my home here, and they have some other thing, and they have some other thing." And that's the way Crispin's working. He's doing the same thing where he's laying down tracks and sending them everywhere. And I just like everything else in the automated age, like in the digital age. It's awesome and it's terrible. It's like
because you want to get together in a room with actual people and do work with them. But now it's all like, send me your tracks. I'll send you the synchronization track and send me the track. And I'm like, no, I'm coming to your studio. We're going to do it together and have some fun.
It's like, to me, it's a difference between, and this is not going to be an old fart rant, but it's the difference between, it's the difference between shopping for music online versus going to a record store, and I mean, that will seem archaic to many people, but what it eliminates, when I send you my track, unless there's something really wrong with it, it's the wrong key or something else, right. There it is. And there will be nothing like we're sitting there and, hey, how about trying that? Or how about this? Or just organically, it goes somewhere else. No, you're sort of filling a box, kind of.
Well, that's it. So, so when these guys specified what they wanted me to do on this record, I was like, okay, but I don't know you yet. I don't know what you like and don't. So, like, I don't know. I'm going to send you stuff. And, like, it's like going to the optometrist where they're like, is it better like this or like this or like this or like this or like this? And so, like, I don't know. So I say things like, I can get really weird or medium weird or very commercially mainstream. And they're like, really weird. And then I'm like, do they really mean really weird or do they mean medium weird? And they think like they won't tell me because they're embarrassed about how weird I am.
Right.
But they seem to like weird. I'm just telling them really weird and they like
well, it. And it's also too, given the backgrounds of most of these guys, like the weird thing, that's probably a big gap in their thing. Like they probably do everything beautiful, right, smart, rational, theoretical, right. Like everything. But the weird thing, it's like, how do you do that? I wish I could do that.
But here's the thing: like you go to Berkeley or you go to a music university, you learn composition and all this kind of stuff. You learn how to do it right. You learn how to do it like, all right. Here are the rules. You can break them on your own later, but here are the rules, and here are the scales, and here are the modes, and here are the keys, and here's the harmonic and inharmonic, and blah, blah. And they make these synthesizers now that you can't really tell them what to do. There's no keyboard, there's no sequencer, and they're just like, I'll play whatever the hell I want, human. And all you can do is say, yeah, like more or less of that, and they do what they want. And that's not what music school teaches you to do.
Yeah, and Berkeley players, there's no question they're brilliant. There's no question they have, incredible chops. And sometimes it doesn't do them as much good as it should. Sometimes it's something where you just want a little bacon grease on the fucking thing, and it's hard to teach bacon grease if you don't.
It's the name of my new company, Bacon Grease. I like it.
There you go. No, but I mean, it is really true. It's like if you don't come by that sensibility, just being perfect and being, checking all the theoretical boxes and all of that stuff,
right,
doesn't necessarily take you to some place that's going to grab you like emotionally.
That's true.
It'll be smart. It'll be crazy. It'll be more than likely a little busy, it's going to be like a little overplayed a little bit because you just want to show all this shit you've got. It's kind of like the Defense Department. Fuck it, we built these things. We want to use them.
Exactly. Take them out to the range.
We want to show you the stealth bomber that knocks on the guy's door and then says, "May I come in?" We want to show you that. But
what's scary is there's a guy at DARPA who has my job. Like, I make the crazy weapons that are really fun, like that's me.
I started as a guy just making funny sounds on a computer, and now
I work for DARPA.
Well, the guy, the patron saint of that is Jeff Skunt Baxter, who played for Steely Dan, who ended up in the Defense Department because he was brilliant. He was smart, but when you go to Berkeley, he went to Bard. He was kind of freakish, but a genius player. And I mean, that's a funny twist in the road, isn't it?
That's so funny. So you got any Steely Dan?
Gee, I don't know.
What a segue! What a segue! Wow. If you actually do any Steely Dan music.
And it's like a Steely Dan song that's kind of about the end of the world. I have played this before, and it's like I can never remember the next week. Like, what the fuck did I play? And I don't want to play it again, whatever it is. But I know I didn't play this last weekend.
No, do it.
Hello, morning. Oh. Un momentito.
What happened?
Well, what happens is
you didn't put your capo on.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Right. Hello, no. Was it you I used to know? Can't you hear me call on this old ham radio? All I've got to say, I'm alive and feeling fine. A little embarrassed if you come my way. You can share my poison wine. No marigolds in the promised land. There's a hole in the ground where they used to go. Any man left on the Rio Grande is the king of the world as far as I know. Don't want your bread. I don't need no helping hand. I can't be no savage. I can't be no highwayman. Show me where you are. You and I will spend the day driving in my car through the roads of Santa Fe. No marigolds in the promised land. There's a hole in the ground where they used to grow. Anyone left on the Rio Grande is the king of the world as far as I know. This is like the end of the world. This is what it's going to sound like. I'm reading last year's papers, although I don't know why. Assassins, cons, and rapers might as well die. If you come around, no more pain and no regrets. Watch the sun go brown. I got some regrets. Smoking cobalt cigarettes. There's no need to taking things the easy way. If I stay inside, I might live till Saturday. No marigolds in the promised land. There's a hole in the ground where they used to grow. Anyone left in the Rio Grande is the king of the world as far as I know. That's good. That's the way they end. You end with a whimper, not a bang.
What a complicated song. Oh my God. You like whipped it off like it was like, woohoo.
Well, it would, here I am like second guessing Berkeley guys, and, I could use a little practice, it wouldn't.
Nobody can play that stuff. You can, just be happy.
It wouldn't, it wouldn't hurt. It's funny though, but that was the funny thing about being in Logical Pretzel, that band was, there's playing the song, but they want to play it like the record too. To me, it's just, part of me doesn't want to invest that much time into it, and another part of me just wants to interpret it and treat it like I do, like I try to do everything. Just treat it as a song. It's a song.
Right. Speaking of somebody who doesn't want to invest much time, Randy Stone.
Ladies and gentlemen.
That was good, Bill. I like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Randy Stone. That's his plan.
Hey, how's everybody doing? How's everybody? Tough room. Yeah.
That's funny.
That's how we played him on at the Horseshoe.
That's right, you did.
So speaking of recording studios that are going out of, all the studios going out of business, you ever heard of Todd Nossel Studios up in?
Trod.
Yes.
Trod Nossel, right?
Yes.
Right.
All the way out on the way to
How dare you
Rhode
get that
Island.
major brand wrong? Yeah.
Really cool studio, whatever. But I'm literally in 30 minutes from right now, their online auction on Auction Ninja is expiring. Like they are selling the
Wow.
board. They're selling
Must
everything.
go.
Everything must go. Yeah, and they're staying open. I guess they're opening as a rehearsal space. But who wants to go to a recording studio and spend real money and a real engineer for all kinds of fancy gear? You know, it's like
With the world's most
Now
expensive
explain to
analog
me.
equipment.
I mean, I was never sure what that place was. It always kind of vibed from '95, like it was like industrial or something strange. But was it like did it do commercial stuff or personal stuff or what did it do?
I'm not really sure, but I know they did records for people. Like they produced records for
did.
people. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they did any other
I
commercial
mean,
work.
I think even back to the '80s and such. Like so I think as we've joked about, I'm on one record that's in the encyclopedia of punk and new wave, and it was on eBay. And when it goes on eBay, I get outbid for my own record. Like it goes for like $500 because it's collectible because we only press 500 copies.
You are collectible.
I'm telling you, you know.
There's no telling where the ceiling is for Randy Stone memorabilia. There's no telling.
eBay has a ceiling, and so far it's about $500. And it's all from Japan. It's Japanese collectors.
Hang on, I'm going to take a screenshot and sell it as an NFT and get
Yeah,
really
yeah,
rich. There we go.
We
I
should
just
do
did.
that. Oh yeah, let's do it. But we recorded at Scoville Studios in Norwalk. Any of you guys remember them?
It's before my time, but I've heard of them.
All right,
Definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
Were they on-
this
were
was
they on
80,
Van
so
Zandt?
around 80, we probably did this.
Were they
And
on
it was
Van
a
Zandt?
really
Where were
cool.
they?
Apparently, Vicky Sue Robinson's "Turn the Beat Around" was recorded there.
No way.
Yeah,
Huh.
that's what they claim. I don't know.
Like, were they in
And
Van
by the way, if you listen to it, it's a pretty nice recording. I mean, it's a great song and a great groove and all that
Yeah.
shit, but the recording quality is pretty nice.
Well, she was a really good singer. Rest in peace. She was good. I used to see her she played in a lot of bands like in Portchester, and
Yes.
I played a bit in Portchester, and she was a kind of a fixture there. And
Yep. Yeah, she was a cute little thing, and she had great pipes.
yep,
And given what everybody was doing in the '80s, I gotta believe she was doing the same shit, and probably
Yeah.
wasn't healthy.
you got to fish where the fish are, you know.
Yeah. But Scoville was another place like Trod Nos. That my point was these are
Trod
two
Nozzle.
studios locally that were like, yeah, man, those are the places to go. Yeah.
I mean,
So we-
Trot Nozzle, doesn't that sound vaguely like an old Scandinavian fairy tale or something? And Trot Nozzle
Right.
took the children.
Exactly. Right.
No,
Lives
it
under
sounds
the
like a
bridge.
porn-
Yeah.
Sounds like a porn star name, and in the lead role, Trod Nosso.
I think if you spell it backwards, it's probably
Yeah.
it's probably like Dort Lesson or something like that. You know.
Well, you could buy their mixing board for $1,200.
Yeah.
It was probably $300,000 when they bought it.
Yeah, that used to be 20 grand.
They're selling a Mackie 37 channel board, 37 by 8 by 2. The bid is $200.
Oh my god, can you fucking believe that?
It
If
won't
I had
fit
only
in my.
had that thing in my last bar gig, that would have been so much better to have 37 tracks.
It won't fit in my Mini Cooper. It's that big. It's like it comes with a table that sits on. You know.
And it's a typical thing. It's at the bottom now, and don't you know, 20 years from now, the fucking thing will be worth like 20 grand.
Vintage. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll go through the vinyl routine. you
Yeah,
know.
it'll be like Pac-Man game or something.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. You could buy like an Xbox Series X latest thing for $500, but you want to buy a Nintendo piece of crap.
And
It's
keep going.
$1,000. You know,
Yeah,
for like.
yeah.
Well, to me, it was always as bizarre as X-Man number 10, Jack Kirby and Stan Lee, was worth less than X-Man number 100, which
Right.
is by a guy named John Byrne, because it just, the aftermarket world, the kids, as we like to call them, they they decided that was a thing. Like, when is 10 worth less than 100?
Yeah.
You know, I don't get it. You know, it's like, and it was, what the hell? Yes, I have a comic book collection. Don't judge me, you know.
I have worse. I used to be a ham radio operator, which was referenced in that last song.
Right. But,
That's right.
But you probably told the Philippines that the Japanese were on their way. Like you probably helped. You probably did something.
I was connecting guys at the McMurdo Antarctic station to their families.
Wow.
The only way they could talk to their families.
What, did you have a ham tower at your house?
Yes.
Oh my
70-footer.
God! Of course I did. Of
A
course.
70-footer with a 6-element beam, directional beam. I'll have you know.
I'm sorry, was that a
Wow.
rhetorical question, Ed, or were you actually serious with that?
So you know Morse code? You know Morse code?
I could do any Morse code right now. You want to hear Ed Train?
Yeah.
Yep.
It da did it da 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 did da did it da did.
That's
Wow.
bebop. That's not Morse
I
code.
know,
That's
yeah,
bebop.
exactly. I can sing
That
it.
actually-
Did it.
And also, you could play that behind the theme to Mary Tyler Moore's show. I think.
Actually, truth be told, that's how I remember the opening bass line in Michael Jackson's "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough." It's
Yeah.
actually a Morse code beat, and that's how I fucking remember it. I've turned it into
Da-da-da-da-da-da. What is it?
And what is it actually saying? Is it saying take the chimp out of the hyperbaric chamber? You don't want to.
Yeah, no, he's actually telling the joke in Morse code. He's like, oh.
No, it's probably something way worse. Yeah, no, I won't even. If you haven't seen Finding Neverland, have you seen
Morse
that?
code.
I've seen that. It's
Yeah.
I'm watching that. By the way, for viewing
you
audience,
still have to
Morse,
respect the art, and the art is great, and art's great. But that motherfucker should have been in fucking jail before he died.
absolutely.
You know-
and for the viewing audience, Morse code is a method for communicating before the internet, and it was with dots and dashes.
Before
like
the
for,
phone, before the
in
phone.
in the stagecoach times. Yes.
This is right. In the Civil War, this is how they transmitted. Yeah.
And also for all of you who were listening a little earlier, a record store is a place where actually you would go to buy records. You know, it's like
I've never heard of such a thing. A woman comes up to me on the street with a deep accent, and she's clearly from like Eastern Europe or something. And I'm coming out of the bitter end, right on Bleecker Street.
Sure.
And I walk out, and she pulls up in a car, like she and this guy were in this car, and she says, excuse me, how can I get to Tower Records? And I said, first of all, you need to get a time machine and go back. This was 10 years ago. I was like, you got to get a time machine and go back to the year 1998 to go to Tower Records.
See, and I thought you were going to say practice, baby, practice.
Right.
you know the greatest job I maybe ever had. I worked at the best boutique record store in Denver, and I mean it was the greatest job I ever had. It was so me. You know, I spent all my hours there just going through the racks.
I bet you would have been.
I was like,
over
oh, it's right here, or it's right there, or we don't have it now. You know, I mean, it was just crazy. And it's when I had, you know, we're all for advertising, sort of. You know, when I first took, you know, had shoots out in L.A., you know, Tower Records on Sunset, that to me was like Mecca. You know, I went there, and you know, that was before it was in New York. Kids, it was there, and
I remember
right near the parking lot of Wolfgang Puck, where you could get a roast boiled of chicken pizza, personal pizza, and then you could go to Tower Records, you know. And, you know, you would go there, and, you know, it wasn't a superstore. It was a super cool store. It was like a store that had nuance on a huge scale, you know.
No, a record store in L.A., come on. You know,
in those days.
I mean, you know, I no disrespect to Bleecker Bob's and all the other little ones that we went to way back, but a record store in L.A., come on.
Yeah.
Because first off, there was always an incredibly heart-melting hot chick behind the counter, always, in the skimpiest of outfits.
Yep.
So
that's basically cha-ching. That's a ring up.
yeah, exactly. Yes.
You didn't even come in for anything, but you're buying. You don't care, you know.
Talk about buying just based on the label. Yeah.
Well, I liked the one in New York as well. You know, when it finally came to New York, the one on like 4th Street, the one that's near the bottom line, you know, and one of my favorite New York moments of all time. I lived there for 15 years. And one of my favorite moments is, you know, all the pop stuff, the popular stuff was on the bottom, but the second floor was where you had blues, jazz, you know, country, you know, you had sort of stuff that was a little more, you know, narrow. And I'm up there going through the racks with a bunch of other like-minded individuals. It's daytime, you know, and this Reverend Gary Davis album comes on, which was called Street Corner Preacher. Reverend Gary Davis, if you don't know him, you know, one of the greatest ragtime guitarists of all time, and a lot of songs that he's done were picked up by, you know, Hot Tuna and The Dead and a lot of other people. But he's playing, you know, it's something there, and it's blaring out of the thing, and we're all just going to the thing. And one guy, like, you know, 4 racks over me just goes, "Have mercy!" Like, it just, you know, and I'm just sitting there going like, "Fuck yeah, that's right."
Yeah, that's it.
You know, it's just like, when was the last time you did that to the Backstreet Boys? And I don't mean to drag on them.
Yeah, no disrespect. No dis. Yeah, no.
You know, no disrespect meant to the Backstreet Boys. I can only name one of them, but no disrespect.
Hey,
All right. After that, you have to play a Backstreet Boys song now.
Actually, my
I
son
could, but
does
you don't really
this
want
set.
that.
He does. Aren't they? Didn't they do? I don't know who you are, where you're from, as long as you love me.
Now, the one that I can play, but I'm not going to play because I'm no dancing puppet Ed Train. Okay, but
I am.
Here, dog. Here, dog. Here, dog. Here's a treat.
you are
Yeah. There you go.
my fire,
It's a great song.
desire, believe when I say I want it that way. Like that. I can actually.
Oh my God, you are a dancing dog.
No, but
It's not a bad song. It really isn't a bad song. I think it's good.
No, it's a great song, and you know the funny thing is like I went to see Sean Colvin, who I adore.
Yeah,
and
no, she's totally cool.
Carpenter playing in Westport, I think. It might have been the Playhouse Theater or something like that, you know. And they played it, and I sat there and I just went like, you know, because my whole goal in life is to strip away production values from things and take them down to a point where you just sit there and you go, you know, it's kind of like, is it a song or isn't it a song?
Yeah,
it's like
listen to the song. Yeah,
is it a song or isn't it a song? You know,
I get you.
Is
Yeah.
it something that's worthwhile, or is it just like this emotional, you know, heavily produced emotional button push? You know, and I understand with a lot of pop music, you sit there when the chorus is the verse and there's no bridge, they're just pushing buttons. It's not. They're not writing songs. They're pushing buttons. And some of the buttons are kind of effective as a set of changes, but not as a song. You know, like they work on me to a point where I sit there and I go like, I recognize and respect what you're going for. You're going for a paycheck, and God bless you, you got it. But the bottom line is, you know, you cannot sniff Burt Bacharach's left toenail.
Yeah,
because you don't know how to write a fucking song.
No,
is that even a saying? Is that a real saying?
It should be. No, but that's well put. I hadn't thought about that's what you do. You're right. You strip away the production values to the essence of the song and reveal whether or not it's a real song. That's
right.
Right. And for me, I really owe a bit of that to, you know, Sean Colvin and Mary Chapin Carpenter, who did it, and they did it kind of tongue in cheek, but I sat there and I went like, And I went to a Marshall Crenshaw concert once. Mm-hmm. And there were a bunch of people sort of, you know, acting up in the front of the stage. You know, they're sort of doing something. And Marshall Crenshaw played like a little snippet of Rocky. And that's when I started playing Eye of the Tiger. I just sort of sat there and I go like, you know what? Why the fuck not? You know, I play Photograph, you know, like.
That's the song you were singing when I saw you at the Horseshoe the other day.
Right, you know.
When I walked in.
You mean the Def Leppard Photograph or the Ringo Photograph?
Def Leppard.
Oh, okay. Because I like the Ringo one.
Yeah, I like the Def Leppard one, though, too. I like them both. Oh, come on.
Do it.
Tell me, do it.
Now that you're a trained dog, you might as well do it.
I need. Wait. Where is the book?
Where's my bone?
I mean,
so Ed, in the meantime, you're in the studio?
Yeah.
Cool. And you're having fun?
No, I'm not in the studio now. I was in the studio this afternoon.
For a moment.
Oh my God.
Never mind. So much for interviewing you. You've been spending time in a studio.
Yes, I have. I've been working on a top secret record that is not my place to say, with some really super talented people. And I'm like,
where is the studio? Connecticut, New York? Where?
It's not too far from you, actually. It's up in the woods, sort of.
Yep.
And these guys are like phenomenally talented, and it's just so nice. First of all, it's nice to be in a room with any human being working on music, as you know.
Wow.
And it's nice to be with.
You should come to Easton. I'll give you a chance to do that.
I will do that. So,
where do you,
Bill Nauman, are you? So wait, before Bill says a word, are you like? Do you have like kryptonite on your desk, Randy Stone? Because like you keep like lighting up like there's some sort of a.
It's a TV. It's a TV.
It's a TV. It's
porn.
like you're like
It's
like
porn, and he likes to
I have like a Bloomberg setup here.
Oh
So
my
I have like a big 27-inch iMac. Then I've got a fucking 27-inch TV here, and it's muted. I don't know why I have it on. Hold on, I'll turn it off.
That's the way.
Well,
Yeah, he'll be like
You're
talking about the song, and then he'll be like, "Wait, I gotta buy some stock." You know?
There, here we go. No, I'm waiting for Hot Looking Women to come on. Wait.
Phenomenal. All right, Bill Nolan, do a song real quick. Do something for us.
Okay. I'm going to do Photograph, and
Yes.
I'm not going to say that it's great, but it's a song. It's like that fell into that pattern where I sort of sat there, and it had a certain ascending chord pattern.
It's a weird structure. I had to learn it for a sub gig one time. It's a very weird structure.
and maybe even weirder now, but. I'm out of luck, out of love. Got a photograph, picture of. How much fun is this? Passion killer. You're too much. You're the only one I wanna touch. I see your face every time I dream, on every page, every magazine. So wild, so free, so far from me. You're all I want, my fantasy. Whoa, look what you done to this rock and roll clown. Whoa, look what you done. Photograph, don't want your photograph. I don't need your photograph. All I've got is a photograph. That's the part I like. Even though I screwed it up, I still like it, and it still likes me. I'll be a lover if you were there. Put your hurt on me, oh, if you dare. Such a woman, you got style, like Tawny Katane. You make every man, I know that's Whitesnake, feel like a child. You got some hold on me. You're all wrapped up in a mystery, so wild and free, so far from me. You're all I want, your fantasy. Whoa, look what you done to this rock and roll clown. Whoa, look what you done. Photograph, I don't want a photograph. I don't need no photograph. All I've got is a photograph. I guess this is the solo on it. I'm doing the hair solo. Whoa, look what you done to this rock and roll clown. Whoa, look what you done. Photograph, I don't want no photograph. I don't need no photograph. All I've got is a photograph. You know?
Photograph.
Really good.
Picturesque.
Excellent.
Nice.
Hey, bud.
Hey, Nick Carter, how you doing?
Hey,
I'm
Nick.
well. Hey, how you doing, guys?
Good, man. Bill, you went and turned that into an actual song. goddammit.
No, but it is a song. It's like some of the.
I know that. I just the whole you didn't you didn't throw in the obligatory. I want to touch you. Shut up with that goddamn thing.
Believe me, if I could sing like Bon Scott, I'd do it, but I can't.
Now, when they do those harmonies, is that all? Are those fake harmonies, or it sounds like 6-part harmonies on that song?
I'll bet it's like a bunch of session cats. In there, There's a lot of,
just nail it,
Yeah,
there's a lot of people that play on those recordings, and if they record them in LA, I firmly believe that there are session people. So many people ghost. There's like ghost writing. Well, ghost. So many people do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Particularly,
you did just what you said. You rendered that down to its essence. And there is actually way deep in there is a song somewhere.
No, but that's
that's kind of what I was thinking. And Bill, for all the stuff you do that is so engaging, what was that one? Just tell me. I mean, I'll listen to you any day of the week.
You come late to the conversation, Nick.
Yeah, I've been. Well, I was backstage long enough to see Bill walk away and get his cheat sheet and come back.
We kind of hit him with the challenge. He was saying, there's a song behind anything, and I dissed Def Leppard's rendition of Photograph, and Bill just had to prove me wrong, and he did.
No, I was.
I see your face.
Oh, now come on, now that's.
Is that really better than?
Hold on. Is what better? The Bill Nolan acoustic version better than the other? No, it's not. Right. But the recorded version that I had to consume over mass media, oh yes, it's way better.
Nah, I gotta tell you, it's always good to hear you guys. Always good.
Phenomenal. Hey Nolan, before you get the hook, you want to do one more?
Sure. I just want to say, Nick, you should work on your forehand because your backhanded insults are working great tonight.
Oh,
I kid out of love.
No, it's all good. Believe me. I speak with great respect for what I usually hear from Bill Nolan.
That's okay. Unfortunately, Bill's been having to play like he's Ed's dog all night.
No, but let me give you some perspective. I just spent an hour and a half trying to load a bunch of songs onto Sound Exchange, and I got all the data in there.
What's that?
I hit the submit recording button. And it goes, oh, we're so sorry. You have nothing in your records. So I've got to go back and do it. So I've just been at it for about the last 2 hours. So I'm just a little bit kind of going, so please give it perspective. And Bill, don't take it personal, man. I miss you.
And, honestly, I look forward to the next time we do that Jackson Browne song together because I always love singing that with you.
Well, hey, look, and I want to do that I Ain't Always Satisfied, the old Steve Earle piece,
Oh, yeah.
Right. Whoa.
I have a musical history question.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great fucking song. It's a great song, but as great as that song is, the recording of it is one of the best recordings I've ever heard. It's just so perfect. Like the sound of the Hammond, the sound of everything in it sounds just great.
So, Brandy, what's your question?
As opposed to what I'm about to do right now. So there you go.
Okay, go for it.
This is a song by Johnny Lang. Johnny Lang. Someone standing on a welfare line or off the freeway with a hungry sign. Nothing stressing about to lose their mind. I want to be thankful. Someone just became a single mother. Someone just lost a sister or brother. Such important that we love each other and just be thankful. Well, I've got the time to say that I'm thankful for every single breath I take. I want to be thankful. Oh, someone sitting in a prison cell, wasting away in their own personal hell. Everyone's got their story to tell. I want to be thankful, thankful for every little thing I do. I want to be thankful, thankful in all things breath I do. I want to be thankful, thankful. Oh, used to think didn't have a lot. Now I realize just how much I've got. Now every day I'm gonna head to top. I'm gonna be thankful, thankful for every little thing I do. I wanna be thankful, thankful. You know the breath I take. I wanna be thankful, thankful. Any one of these so easily could be free. Never see the love for mercy going slowly. Riding round on this roller coaster ride. Round and round, I've seen the up and the downside. I'm here to tell you it's a secret of life. I wanna be thankful, thankful. Every little breath I take, I wanna be thankful, thankful. And take the time to say, wanna be thankful, thankful. Good God, have mercy on me. Mercy on my soul.
Lord Almighty.
That was great.
All right.
I'm thankful. I'm thankful.
Good God, have mercy.
Phenomenal. Bill Bowman, fantastic.
Nice.
Wow. So now you have
Music
enough
history
people
question
here?
for Bill. I've been trying to slip in.
Yeah, we're doing good.
Is
Was that
anyone
ready?
walking?
I have a
Anyone
music
walking?
history question for
Yeah.
Bill because I know he would know the answer. And I was talking with some other musicians about this, and I know you know a lot about the Everlys. What the fuck caused their fight and their split up for so long?
You know, honestly, it's being brothers. You know, I think more than anything.
Yeah, but I mean,
And-
I've had a fight with my brother, but we didn't fucking not talk for 20 years, you know.
No, but you know, I had a fight with one of my sisters, and we didn't talk for a long time. But I mean, I think that you know, Don wrote more. I think it was Don that wrote "When Will I Be Loved," and I think he wrote. He might have written "Kathy's Clown." You know,
Yeah.
I got a friend who hangs at Rory's a bit. A guy named Preston Beale, and this guy's a real character. He's a great guy, and he's been very supportive of me when I played at Rory's. At least his dad was in TV, and like in California, and there is a picture of him sitting on the lap of baby boy Phil Everly, wearing like lederhosen as a child, like he's a child. And like for me, you know, because I had two older sisters, I was exposed to stuff before I might have been, and it was a great advantage. I was into Elvis at 5 and the Everlys at 5. You know, I mean, it was like there. But this picture, I would have been like, I wouldn't have known where to go from there. Like that would have been my life right there. I'm with the Everly Brothers wearing lederhosen in some fucking, you know, some production studio in Culver City or something. You know, and it's like, you know, he actually knows. He knew the Everlys, and he actually knows Mom Everly. And he went there. She passed recently, but he went down and visited her, and it was like. And he sometimes asked me if I wanted to go, and of course I did, but of course I couldn't figure out a way to make it happen. But it was like, it was just kind of the Everlys were without question my biggest influence in my life in music.
Well, like you and Paul McCartney and like, you know, so many other people, and for good reason. The reason I asked this, I was laid up this week recently, and I just kind of laying on the couch, and I said to her whose name I will not mention, the Amazon Echo, because she's gonna, don't do it, Ed. Don't, I know where you're going. Don't do it.
Does she identify as her?
Right. So I just told her, like, play songs by the Everlys, and I listened to that for, I want to say 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I knew about it, and for about an hour and a half of it, I knew those songs. But there was about an hour and a half, like, I've never heard this before. This is gorgeous.
Great
This
catalog.
is just, like, make you cry gorgeous. Like,
Well,
one song,
and
I
this,
swear the progression from Neil Young's Harvest Moon was in the background. I'm like, I wonder if that influenced, Neil doesn't rip people off. I know he doesn't, but like, that's the Harvest Moon.
of course he does. What do you mean he doesn't rip people up? Everybody rips people up.
That
You know,
led
like
to me
this-
talking
this
to a
song-
friend about the Everlys, who asked me, why the fuck did they fight? What the fuck was that last fight all about where they didn't talk for decades? And I said, I know a guy who would know that. But I
You
was
know, like
wrong.
arguably, my favorite Everly song is a song called "Crying in the Rain."
That's what I'm talking about. That's
So "Crying in the Rain" was
Yeah.
written by
That's the
Carole
song.
King and a guy named Howard Greenfield, and Howard Greenfield was typically the partner. Oh man, of a guy who wrote a bunch of stuff for Neil Sedaka, and Carole King was, of course, Jerry Goffin's partner. One day in the Brill Building, they decided to swap partners just for shits and giggles, and they came up with that, and they never wrote another song together. Which I sit there because it's it's like I know what you know. Like there's an interior rhyme thing. The way my lonely heart is feeding me.
That's what I call make you cry beautiful.
All the heart I contain. I'm crying in the rain. I mean,
Beautiful.
and there's a bridge. Raindrops falling from heaven can never wash away my misery. But since we've been together, I think it's stormy weather to hide the tears I hope you'll never see. I'm gonna wear
Oh,
my.
that- I'm gonna have to scoot, guys.
It's like interior rhymes. Like he has
There you go.
interior. It's like playing Scrabble, and you get the interior word scores. Like where you're knocking the words on the words.
Yeah.
Damn, what's Nick Carter doing? Anyway, but that song to me is, and this is saying a lot. It's my favorite Everly Brothers song.
That's
you know.
No,
And-
musically and lyrically, it's beautiful.
And frankly, they took their cue from a couple of guys named the Louvin brothers. That's where they sort of got their harmonic cue from. But two-part harmony, that's the thing that McCartney loved most about them, because he and John could, replicate to some degree that, but nobody can replicate when it's two brothers doing it.
Brothers.
It's just
That's
like
what they always said about the Bee Gees and
Yeah.
and those guys. Everything like
Beach Boys.
Brothers is a different instrument altogether. When it's
It
brothers.
is indeed.
So you're telling me the Everly brothers were brothers?
Wait a minute. I thought it was just like my brother.
Yeah, that's what
Now
I
let me
thought.
just ask you this: is that just because you think everything's fake news? Is that why? But I mean, it's like
I'm heading out, guys. Stay
Where are
well.
you going?
Well,
What happened?
well, I've got some folks waiting for dinner, and I thought we might have
Oh,
had
okay,
more
all
time
right.
to play. It's cool. It's totally fine.
Okay.
Ed, write me, and we'll do this next week.
All right, we'll catch you later.
Stay well, guys.
All right. Bye, Nick.
Nick Carter, did you see what
Okay,
happened?
man.
Like he
No.
dropped all his gear. Like
I
the
know.
whole studio fell apart
now I
while
feel
we were
bad.
talking.
Now I feel bad.
I think this has happened to all of us. I think that was a note or a text from his honey saying, "Everybody's here. We're waiting for you. Where the hell are you?"
That's
Like,
it.
ooh, yeah.
That's that look. Oh no.
I think that was a command
Well,
performance.
I will tell you, Randy, though, with the Everlys, that is the shit. And they recorded this stuff, down in Nashville. They recorded it, in the RCA studios, or they recorded on Cadence and later on Warner Brothers. But it's like Chet Atkins is the guitarist on a lot of that stuff.
I know.
Is he
And-
really?
Yeah,
Yeah, I do
and
know that,
Don
yeah.
Everly played guitar on, like stuff like, that's like Don Everly doing that stuff. And he was a very, very accomplished guitarist. And he wrote, When Will I Be Loved? Which is and they recorded it before anybody did. And, there's just something, what I loved about them most, it's kind of like what I love about horn sections, certain horn sections, when they're just slightly off tune in a way that creates a dissonance that makes it fucking awesome.
Which
Like
is
the
one of the
difference
problems
between,
with,
difference between Electric Flag and Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and particularly even Blood, Sweat, and Tears and Chicago. Like Chicago's horn section, I just never cared for them. They sounded like a computer to me, like they were just so like.
No,
I didn't like the song.
When things are too perfect, it's not. Same thing for
perfect.
vocal harmonies. Same thing. Yes,
you
perfect.
need a little faint trace of dissonance. You just need to be off by a milli hair.
I know what you mean.
And when you do that, it gives it a body and it gives it a humanity that you don't get when things are perfect. And like the Chicago.
Precise surgery.
I had to learn all those for a sub gig. By the way, they're not easy. They're not easy songs.
No, they're not easy. No.
I have a friend of mine, Rob Arthur, who's a really good keyboard player, and he's playing with Chicago right now. Like he's out with Chicago, and I keep seeing his posts, and it's like, it's a great gig. It's a great gig because when you have a catalog like that, you can't go wrong. It's like being in the Eagles or something. You can't go fucking wrong. It's
and said another way, you can't go wrong.
Right. It's true.
One of the beauties of being in a schlub cover band and playing shit bars like I do is you can go wrong.
You can go pretty wrong. Yeah.
You can do what the fuck you want. You can
drive off the cliff.
Yeah. But no, when you're on a gig like that, people come to hear it sound just like the fucking record, so you can't go wrong.
That's it.
Well, I mean, to me, that's the bone I have to pick with, like, live Eagles, and I am not in a position to cast aspersions on the Eagles. Like when I saw that freaking documentary of theirs, and I sat through 6 hours. It was like 2 documentaries of 3 hours each, and I sat there and I went like, I kind of knew all this, but I forgot how many freaking songs they did. And then when you see them do it live, it's literally, quote unquote, exactly like the record.
It is,
and it's the same kind of thing. When you see like the more recent like Steely Dan bands, it's the same kind of thing. And to me, that isn't a plus for me. Like what a plus for me is, play the songs, honor the songs, maybe you intro into the solos, but at that moment in time, fucking do your own thing, man.
Yeah.
Like just, these people can play their fucking asses off.
No, we all know this. For every song we're covering, there are, well, my friend from Boston says it, there are signature pads. And you want to hit those signature pads that people are expecting. But then after that, I mean, come on. You want to hear the record, go fucking hear the record.
So wait, so you guys have both seen Steely Dan live, right? Have you?
I have not, actually.
I have seen them a couple of times live.
Did they do the solos exactly like they are on the record?
Really? Like, really,
no,
everything.
They don't, though. Because they can't. Because, like...
They don't have all the guys.
I've seen them a couple of different ways, and the first time when they came back from their when they came back from their hiatus, their guitarist was a guy named Drew Zing, who was a great guitarist, one of my favorite guitarists. He's a disciple of Buzzy Featon, who is absolutely one of my greatest guitar heroes, and he played. His chops were so good that I didn't give a shit that it wasn't Larry Carlton or Elliot Randall or whoever. Because he had a point of view, and then, they have a guy named John Harrington, who is an amazing guitarist, but I don't find he has like the emotional content. I just find that he doesn't take me there, like where I want to go. And it's like, all of this is horse shit. These guys can play this stuff. I am not in any position to cast aspersions.
No, I know what you mean, though. Listen, we can comment on music. I sometimes criticize people, and I always have to say this phrase: "I should be so talented, and I should be so
right."
So, I mean, God bless. I mean, look at I'll give respect to Dee Dee Ramone from the Ramones. I'm like, Go watch an hour of them playing live and do it with that energy and that fucking physicality. And he didn't fuck up. Dee Dee was pretty much on it. It was straightforward bass playing. But fucking do that for an hour and don't make mistakes.
Yep.
And by the way, an hour, these are like dog years. An hour of the Ramones is like 60 songs. You know, it's like, man, I don't criticize people. I don't. Well, I mean, I criticize, but I have respect for what they're doing. I'm saying.
Yeah, by the way, for our viewers that aren't old enough, Steely Dan is a band from the 70s.
Yes.
And so, Brian, I know you've never heard of Steely Dan, but it's not your generation, but it was a really good band back in the day, you know?
Brian, how are you?
You're muted.
Good.
You're muted.
Of course, I've heard of them.
Hey, Brian, I thought you were in Nashville or something.
We were, yeah. We got back
Now,
yesterday.
I was just
Oh,
thinking
blur.
when I saw that you were down there, I was just thinking, like, if there were ever two people who could just sort of show up at the Bluebird and just do a little bit of a set, that would have been such a great opportunity for you guys, you know?
Oh,
Like,
well, we did play the Bluebird.
awesome.
Yeah, we did the open mic though. You know.
Oh, my
so-
God. And,
No,
and
but it
my
doesn't
heart
matter.
was
You guys
breaking.
know you should do the open mic.
My heart was
Yeah.
breaking. He posted on Facebook, the Bluebird is the best jam we've ever been to. I was like, oh, no.
Wow, how soon they forget.
You stuck
How
a
soon
knife
they
in my
fucking
heart.
forget, you know?
It's shockingly small place.
Yeah?
It's like it's like an NYC studio apartment. That's I mean it's actually I think smaller probably.
Really?
It's very tiny.
And what was it like playing there? Was it like iconic for you? Was it amazing?
I mean it's all of those things. Yeah, you know, it was an open mic. I mean it's there were
Yeah,
some
you
really
guys
interesting
are
acts.
not. I mean, in Nashville, there's a different level of people, but you're not just some fucking walk off the street open mic people. You know, like you got some shit going on, and you're Yankees, goddammit. You're freaking Yankees going down there
Yeah.
and showing them, fuck
Yeah.
you, we're Yankees, and we
Yeah.
can play. You know.
Yeah, whenever we say that, there's always crickets. We're like, we're from Connecticut. It's like,
You get your ass kicked. Right?
yeah. I
Hey,
noticed
Jimmy,
that
our
there was
busboy has a record
eerie
deal too.
silence.
That's great. You know.
Yeah.
Our busboy went fucking platinum. Yeah.
No, but
That's-
everyone
and you
and
have family down
everyone
there?
and their mother is signed. Everyone in their, they're musicians. It's like anywhere you look, any direction you look, it's like literally, yes, the busboys, the waiters, they're all they're all clawing.
It's like you go to Boulder, Colorado, right? Like every waiter has two
Ridiculous
PhDs because they
competition.
just want to live in Boulder.
Yeah.
So what were
Yeah.
you doing in Nashville? What was that all about?
Well, we went. We took the kids down, which was an adventure. I don't recommend it. I don't.
You kids? You don't recommend
Hey,
kids? Is that what you're
kids,
telling me?
kids, have you been to the Mel Tillis Museum yet? Come on.
It's great.
Yeah,
Get a
so
stutter.
we brought the kids. They loved it. The person who we're working with in Nashville is producing our album. Has a studio actually in Franklin where we were staying. We had a little Airbnb place with a little
Franklin,
playground.
Tennessee?
It was nice. Yeah, and which is quiet, charming little town. It's kind of it's different vibe. But yeah, we stayed there, and I visited the studio a couple times, did a little bit of production work on this new track, and then they took the kids around to all the standard places, the Opry, there's a science museum. We did the hop on, hop off bus tour of Nashville. We took them on Broadway, which was like the moment I set foot on Broadway with the kids. It was like, this was an enormous mistake. It's not a place for kids. So
You're going to New Orleans next year, right? To the
Yeah, right.
French Quarter, right?
yeah, to the French Quarter. Yeah, we'll just take a leisurely stroll. It's off the hook, man. I mean, Broadway's like, what the fuck?
So,
It's so loud.
I mean, since the last time I've seen you, you have some changes in the family. Am I not correct there?
Plus
Yeah.
one.
We got the little guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Congratulations.
Very good.
Thanks. Yeah. He's He's cool. He's asleep now. Otherwise, I'd have him make it a little.
Bring him on, like I bring my cat on.
No,
Like,
Yeah.
never wake the baby. Never wake.
No,
the
no,
baby.
no, 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 no,
I
no,
bring
no.
him my tequila. It's like, look,
Under any
look, I
circumstance.
made this.
We all know that. It's bad enough you took babies on a road trip. We all remember that. But yeah,
Oh my god.
no, yeah,
Oh my
dude,
God.
we've all done it. We've all done it. It's
did
like-
you drive to Nashville? You drove down?
No, we flew. You know,
Doesn't matter.
so our
It
flight
doesn't
was
matter.
canceled on the way back. It was
Ooh.
canceled. So last minute, like the morning of, we got everyone up at 6 a.m., which is a
Wow.
nightmare. Yeah, exactly, Randy.
For once,
exactly.
I'm glad to be old. Oh,
Yeah. Well, now I've gotten exponentially older since that day. But
it's called callus. Yeah.
That's some gray hair I noticed there. A little
yeah,
gray
it's,
hair.
it's getting more powdery up there. Yeah, so they canceled
Brian,
the freaking
you don't
flight.
know the meaning of the word. Come on. Older.
It's hysterical.
What was that
So what
song?
did you send me? You sent me a couple of videos. What do you got going on here, Brian?
Yeah, a couple of lyric videos.
I want to play one. Which one am I going to play?
I guess start with let's start with Young Woman. Yeah.
All right, tell me about it. Set it up for me.
Well, you know,
Set up
It's about a young woman.
it's about
Sounds good.
It's one of those weird situations where you're like, all right, I guess I'm writing this song now. It's sort of just popped in there, and it's kind of a I have 2 daughters, so they both love the song. It's just kind of message of empowerment.
Very cool. How
young
how
woman.
old are your daughters now?
How old are they?
Roughly. Give or take 10 years.
Roughly speaking, 8 and 5.
Wow.
8 and 5. About to be
Nice.
9 and 6.
There you
So
go.
yeah, I mean, pretty soon, you get into that age where our 8-year-old's going to start learning things.
Get a
Woman.
get a shotgun while you're in Nashville next time. My God. All right, here it is. Here it is. The world debut of a young woman. I don't know if that's true, but here it is.
I know it seems like it's hopeless, just a matter of time until they all start to notice you're going out of your mind, trying to keep the rejection from getting under your skin, fighting with your reflection. But she ain't letting you in. Well, honey, I'm here to tell you, yeah, I've been down the same road without a soul there to help you pull the weight of that load. I know how long you've been hurting, I know the pressure you felt. Girl, just lay down that burden and have some faith in yourself. 'Cause I knew a young woman. She started off as a lost little girl, believing she couldn't ever truly belong in this world. Running from trouble, hiding her struggle, hating herself without someone to love her and tell her she's worth it, say she deserves it. Trials, I swear on my mother, you're perfect. Loud as the thunder, young woman, say it with me, yes I am. Need you to rise up and listen. Need you to open your eyes and see the gifts you've been given. The kind money can't buy. It's your unbreakable spirit, your grace, beauty, and style. Girl, there's no need to fear it. Go on and show 'em that smile. 'Cause I knew a young woman. She started off as a lost little girl, believing she couldn't ever truly belong in this world. Running from trouble, hiding her struggle, hating herself without someone to love her, tell her she's worth it, say she deserves it. Child, I swear on my mother, you're perfect. Loud as the thunder, young woman, say it with
Nice.
Really nice, man.
Very
Yeah, nicely done.
excellent.
Yeah,
Great
can you
sound.
Get rid of,
Great
can you
sound.
get rid of that super, the Nicole, my weekly banter, and that thing?
Huh?
I'm just asking. Does that go away, or
The thing at the bottom?
yeah, the Nicole,
I don't,
my weekly dose of
I don't know.
Oh, the banner, that?
yeah.
That thing.
That was phenomenal. That's another great song from you guys.
Yeah, very
Yes.
pretty.
So we worked with, her name is, so our producer's name is Dan Dan Ford out of Nashville. He brought on a background singer for the background vocals, the choir that you hear. Her name's Kylie Phillips. So, I think it's Kylie Phillips Music if you're on Instagram. So she's a local singer there. Yeah, it was really cool to see that one come together, the way the vocal stacks that he put together.
Really cool.
Took a while. Like we really, 3 hours of just recording for the background vocals. So it's like you don't realize how much work and how much endurance it takes for a singer.
Yeah, it was clear a lot of work went into that, especially on the chorus part. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that piano too.
Tracks down there.
Huh?
Did you lay the basic tracks down there?
Yeah, so I just recorded it as a guitar track and a vocal, the lead vocal and my
Awesome.
harmony, and then sent that off and just made sure to do it to a metronome so he could program in, the program, the drum track and the percussion, and then he arranged the rest of it basically. But so we kind of do it remotely now. It's like I'll be like, we'll have a window of an hour or two, and we'll just pick a day, and then we'll do either Facebook video or whatever, so I can listen in to, as he's laying in these tracks. And it's just as effective as sitting in the studio, probably more effective, you could say. Because some producers don't necessarily want someone sitting behind them, like breathing down their neck while they're working. So
Right.
It's nice to just be on video chat. So I don't know. I think that dynamic works for us. I'm not sure about others, but
A lot of people work, they play on records. They never meet the other people on
Yeah.
the records. It just all happens remotely.
yeah, exactly.
But I still
Right.
miss Bobby Q's, though. I must say.
I know. I was going to ask about that.
Me too. No, not yet. So I'm going to go talk to her, but I don't think they've got to go from they're open for takeout, so they got to hire restaurant staff and they've got to hire bar staff. You got to get somebody bar manager who's trustworthy to run that, and they may just be sticking with the takeout for a while.
I didn't realize that they never opened up sit down retail.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
They just do takeout and catering apparently,
Yeah.
and maybe that will change. Maybe now's
yeah.
the time. Maybe in May or June they'll think of doing that in this case.
Well, people are going to start coming back out, when it finally warms up. I don't know when that'll be, but
Freezing out there now. The Black
tonight,
Duck
yeah.
Jam is
Not
playing
tonight, no.
outside tonight. Black
Yeah.
Duck Jam is now playing outdoors at the beer garden. They must be freezing their tails off down there.
Crazy.
But are you still doing the Boathouse?
No. You mean the boat club? The all
Boat
that?
club,
No, I'm not doing anything. I've got a couple of bands I'm playing with now, but no jams as yet. But maybe soon. We'll see.
Okay.
I played that boathouse when it was freaking freezing too. They had like
Go down that road. Randy Stone skiing down that road, like with his bass. Whoa!
Ed having to move my car for me.
The ice.
Right. Yeah. That's
What
once
we
I'm there,
used
I'm
to
really
do.
happy. But like getting there and leaving, I'm like, oh tits.
Yeah, right. Crazy. No, there'll be jams in the future. We'll all be back one of these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Brian, is Vera good? Everything good? Mom's good?
Yeah, we're totally fine. Yeah, we're.
It's awesome.
She's good. I think she went up to bed. Just
And
baby
missed all
was-
of this? What?
I know. I missed all this fun.
All this highbrow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, I got one more track from you guys. Dance floor. Set it up for me.
Yeah, this one. This is the one we played at Bluebird.
Awesome.
And yeah, it was. So when we got at our wedding, they do the thing where they say all the couples come out on the dance floor, and then anyone that's been married 5 years, 10 years, 20, and so on, please take your seat. And so you work your way up to the couple that's been married the longest. And so my grandparents were the last ones left standing on the dance floor, having been married 60 years. And so that was 10 years ago when we got married. So they both passed away. But so this song was kind of, that was the idea behind this one, that scene of them at the wedding and being the last ones left on the dance floor.
Yeah. Nice. Here it is. Dance Floor, Brian and Vera.
I remember playing that record on repeat. The way you spun me round, swept me off my feet. What a night, what a sight, you and me. And every now and then I'll put that record on, hold you in my arms till evening turns to dawn. Then I rise and realize you're still gone. I'm sorry that I couldn't save you, so jealous of the angels, but they can never separate us. 'Cause I know when I close my eyes, I'll see you there under those lights. I'm playing that record tonight. Meet me on the dance floor, 'cause holding you tight takes me to those heavenly heights. So let's sway to this song one more time. Meet me on the dance floor. Yeah, maybe this sounds crazy, but it's true. I don't know how to dance with anyone but you. You know I tried, so what am I supposed to do? And I can almost hear you saying, just let me go, baby. But I don't care how long it takes me, 'cause I know when I close my eyes, I'll see you there under those lights. I'm playing that record tonight. Meet me on the dance floor, 'cause holding you tight takes me to those heavenly heights. So let's sway to this song one more time. Meet me on the dance floor. I love you in this life and in life after death. Ooh. So honey, can we meet on that dance floor again? And again and again and again.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty. That is pretty.
So is that same background girl or?
No, that was just us. So yeah, I did
Freaking awesome.
did two-part
Awesome.
harmony. There was one harmony on the first chorus, and then brought in the third harmony on my second on the second chorus to the end. Yeah,
It's great. It's great.
yeah. It's a slow dance song, and I mean really personal for me, and because my grandpa passed away before my grandma did, so it's sort of written from her perspective. You're together 60 years. I mean, when does that happen anymore?
Yeah, right.
So
Who knows?
I don't. And so they seem to really like it at the Bluebird. What's great about the Bluebird is, it's a listening room. I mean, it was dead silent in there.
Right.
So a song like that, it's we played the Leaper's Fork. There was a open mic in Leaper's Fork a couple nights before that, and it was a good audience. It was huge. I mean, like we rarely play shows that big. This open mic was that big, but still, you have some ambient noise, people talking. It's hard to like hear yourself think and hear the the light guitar strumming that song sort of requires. It's a quiet song, so a lot of kind of down moments in there. But the Bluebird, I could hear everything. It was like I didn't have to push. It was nice to not have to push on that song to get it through, so we could just kind of like take our time and let the quiet moments be what they needed to be. So it was cool experience playing that one live. Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah. So yeah, those are the two ones that wanted to show you guys.
Fantastic. Looking forward to
hang out.
seeing you playing live this summer someplace.
Yeah, man, we got a whole bunch of new stuff. It's just it's crazy. Like since 2020, since around March, April, started writing. Now about 16 to 18
ago.
new songs.
2 years,
I know.
everything is like +2.
I know. So I guess that's an average of 9 or 10 songs per year. So I guess that's not bad. But we have a bunch of new stuff to play whenever you get a chance.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think I'm going to be working on getting a jam together as the weather gets warmer and people start emerging from their COVID shells.
Yeah. Well, we're there, man.
Good stuff. Well, glad you could join us on Jam TV. And hey, you guys, good to see you. We're going to wrap it up for tonight. And we will. Or do you want to do one more song, Bill Dolman?
Yeah,
I will.
Why don't you close it out? Why don't you close it out for us? Do one more song for us.
Do one, man.
Yeah, this is a song. This is a Graham Parsons song, and I got a friend who lives in South Carolina, and I'll send it out to my friend Rob Fisher.
There it is.
In South Carolina, there are many tall pines. I remember the oak tree that we used to climb. But now when I'm lonesome, I always pretend that I'm getting the feel of hickory wind. I'd started out younger at most everything. All the riches and pleasure. What else could life bring? But it makes me feel better every time it begins, calling me home to hickory wind. It's hard to find out. The trouble is real. In a faraway city with a faraway field, but it makes me feel better every time it began, calling me home. The hickory wind calling me home. The hickory wind.
Very nice, Bill Nolan.
Great closeout.
There it is.
Nice job.
Nice song.
Anyway, Brian,
Fantastic.
good to see you, man. Say hi
Really
to Vera
nice.
for me.
Yeah, I will. I will. Sorry she couldn't hop
No,
on.
it's
She
okay.
was just-
It's all good.
It's okay.
All right,
We'll
good to
get
see
into
all you
it.
guys. Hope y'all join us for GMTV next week. Show 109. Oh my God!
wow.
158.
Cool.
And now for something completely different.
Show.